The fate of President Donald Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs could be determined by the Supreme Court as soon as tomorrow. But the furniture industry will be worse off regardless of that outcome. That's because SCOTUS will be ruling on the country-specific tariffs invoked under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, in April of 2025. Tomorrow's decision won't affect furniture imports like upholstered couches, kitchen cabinets, and vanities that were slapped with 25% tariffs in the fall of 2025. The actual taxes vary per country. This is an industry that is already struggling, especially the smaller companies. A review of federal bankruptcy filings showed me that at least 11 furniture businesses have declared bankruptcy over the past year, with some liquidating and seizing operations altogether.
They don't necessarily have deep pockets. They don't have the economies of scale. They don't have the huge sourcing teams that can suddenly look to pivot the destination or the origin of the products.
During the pandemic, the home goods industry saw outsized growth as interest rates were low and Americans were flush with cash. But that all changed by 2022 when inflation and interest rates started to creep up. Once the tariffs came around, many already struggling furniture companies just couldn't keep up with the additional cost. Furniture tariffs were supposed to increase by another 25% in January, but got pushed back to 2027. Now, larger publicly traded companies with bigger margins have been taking market share from smaller businesses and growing profits over the last year. IKEA, for example, said it kept prices relatively steady and revenue about flat in 25 compared to 2024. Meanwhile, margins and sales have grown across Restoration Hardware, Williams-Sonoma, and Wayfair. No other president has used the IEEPA to impose tariffs since it became law in 1977. If the Supreme Court rules against him, the U.S. might have to refund hundreds of billions of dollars. Trump wrote in a social media post that the process could take many years and would be almost impossible for the country to pull off. Supreme Court justices on both sides of the aisle have expressed skepticism over the tariff's legality, but it's unclear how they'll rule. The administration says the taxes address trade imbalances with other nations. But the furniture tariffs, which are again not up for debate, were specifically enacted to reignite manufacturing. It's unclear if they're actually doing that, though. If anything, experts tell me the tariffs have added a new challenge: unpredictability. The administration's flip-flopping on tariffs has made planning ahead difficult for many businesses. Analysts expect that more small and independent companies could fail in the coming months or years. The question is really how much, not if, the tariffs will hurt.